What if I told you that you could parry everything in this game on a level 1 heavy without even having a melee weapon equipped? Come with me, I'll show you how far the rabbit hole goes. Welcome back, Space Marines. So my last video generated quite a few questions and comments, the one where I ambitiously sought to teach even Asmongold how to parry in Space Marine 2. So I decided to make this follow-up video just to answer some of those questions and concerns, one of them namely being from people who play the heavy class and were wondering if it was as effective to parry with that class. So I decided to take my level 1 heavy into an operation, as you can see on screen here, and actually try it out. Spoiler alert, it is absolutely possible and viable to play this way even on a heavy with no melee weapon equipped. That said, later on in the video I'll also cover chainsword just in case, just to demonstrate it, and it will be a balance type chainsword specifically, so I won't be using a fencing one, just to show the differences in timing if there are any. Honestly, it's not that noticeable, but regardless, getting back to the heavy question, yeah, I mean, it is absolutely possible, as you can see, to parry every single thing, blue indicator or not, with a heavy class with no melee weapon. You can parry multiple attacks, you can parry attacks without indicators, you could do all that stuff that I was doing with the Vanguard, you could do it on heavy without any trouble whatsoever. Now that being said, obviously in this video I'm kind of forcing the situation here. I'm standing around and I'm taunting the enemy, looking them right in the eye, and insulting them just to provoke an attack, basically, so that I could show you what the timing is like. And the same principle that I explained in the last video still applies to heavy. Meaning, when the enemy begins to wind up their attack, that is when you want to hit your parry key. So in my case, and maybe this will help some of you, if you remap some of your controls it might be easier, but in my case I've remapped my parry button to be my spacebar. I play on mouse and keyboard, so I put it to spacebar. It's the biggest button on my keyboard. I couldn't possibly miss it, even if I tried. So, when the enemy starts winding up their attack, that's when I press spacebar. Again, it has a kind of like a two-part animation in this game, meaning there's a brace part of the animation, the initial sort of animation that appears when you press the input, when you press the key for parry, and then there's a strike animation or a swipe that comes out. The first part is what you want the enemy to be attacking into. So that's why on their wind up you press your parry key, and it's that quote-unquote brace animation, and that's what you want the enemy to be attacking into. And by the time that swipe animation, meaning the second part of the entire parry animation actually comes out, it ends up connecting with the landing of the enemy's attack. And that's how you get a good parry, basically. So that's how you want to time it. Again, on the wind up, as you saw there, I was pressing my spacebar button, my parry button. Again, you see that brace come out. So basically, that's how I'm timing it. Honestly, the difference between this and a fencing type weapon isn't much. Here I'm showing you how to perfect dodge as well. You could do it that way if you want, but seriously, just stand your ground and parry. If you do choose the perfect dodge route, by the way, you really do have to do it last second. So it's the inverse of that parry philosophy, meaning this time you don't do it on the wind up, you really do it at the last second when the swipe would otherwise hit you. I almost got ganked there by that alien. Anyway, so yeah, all that to say, you can absolutely do it. Now I'll show you on my Vanguard again with the chainsword. This is a balance type, so same principle again. On the wind up, well, I just got attacked by a Ravener there. Fantastic. I'll show you on the Ravener too. That's just a orange indicator. There you go. So parry, same principle. I want the enemy basically to be attacking into my brace animation. So the first part of my parry animation. So I hit my parry key on their wind up. Right. So here we go again. I'm gonna provoke him. There you go. Boom, boom. All right. So it's the same timing, same principle. Fencing seems to just make it a little bit easier, but you don't necessarily need it. It's still easy enough even without the fencing type weapon. And that being said, I'll show you a few more examples here. So let's get back to the heavy. Here you're going to see an attack with an orange indicator, and I perfect dodged it. So I just wanted to highlight the difference between the philosophy and the timing of a perfect dodge versus a parry. So the perfect dodge, again, you want to do it exactly as the strike would otherwise hit you. That's when you hit your key to dodge. Whereas the parry, you want to do it on the enemy wind up. So it's not exactly the same. Their timings are different, right? So for the parry, I'm going to There you go. So I want them to attack into me. There you go, on the brace. Second attack, again, generates a gun strike on that chain. Whereas for a perfect dodge, I want to do it exactly right there, exactly where the hit would actually connect with me. That's when I want to hit my key. And that'll generate a gun strike as well. So that's the basic philosophy, honestly. You can absolutely do it. Now again, in this video, I'm forcing the issue here. I'm trying to demonstrate it. Of course, if you're playing heavy, you could just do this. Put up your iron halo and shoot everything. There will be scenarios though where you'll get swarmed close range and your teammates might not be able to help you, and so being able to do this is very useful, right? You can get yourself out of a sticky situation. Here I'm just provoking the lictor, so I'm going to demonstrate it again. There you go, perfect dodge. I didn't need to do that. I could have parried that one. This one, parry. And sometimes you'll make mistakes. Like I think I'm going to make a mistake eventually here. Where I get hit by an attack. Yeah, this one. There you go. So that one I should have dodged, right? But I didn't notice the orange indicator in time. It doesn't matter. Just keep standing your ground and parry it. Like, no problem. There you go. And we're done. He's dead. Okay. So, to recap. You can parry absolutely every single enemy type. You can parry absolutely every attack except the ones with orange indicators. And you can parry with every weapon except the one that indicates block. And even then, even with a weapon that indicates block defense type, you can still parry the attacks with a blue indicator. You can still do that. You can parry even when you have no melee weapon, like I am demonstrating here on a level 1 heavy. So, all this to say, I just wanted to make this video to clarify how it all functions, because I've been seeing comments still about the combat system insisting that this isn't good, this slows it down, you can't do it on the heavy class, you can't do it if you don't have this or that or then the other thing. It's not true. I'm sad to inform the community that if you are unable to parry, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, if you are unable to parry in this game, it is 1000% a skill issue. It is, it just is. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, so just get back in there and practice. You're gonna get the hang of it. Stick with it. Anyways, if this was helpful, please like and subscribe. Again, I stream on Twitch almost every day, twitch.tv/orkhurg. See you in the next one. Later.